a Monday.
Top of the morning to you.
It's a Monday. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, all you fine people out there. There's nothing better when you start a show and you actually see people in the chat. I don't care if it's one person, two people, three people, but seeing people in the chat, there's always like a warmth, like, wow, they are actually coming here to watch this from the beginning.
That's awesome. That's that feeling, right?
It is. It's just like I see Brown Dwarf, I see Suzanne N, I see Paranormal Pixie, Danny Staten, I see Suzanne A, I see My Flock, I see Unidentified S4. You know, it's just it's something awesome when you see people watching it, and it doesn't have to be. Listen, do I wish 1,000 people are watching at the same time? Well, yeah, of course. But to me, it's just still amazing. Just one or two people like it enough to check it out. It's just there's nothing hard. Oh, there we go. Casual conversation.
Hey, the ladies are here. Hello, ladies. Good to see you.
I love young people, you know,
in the field. They're very intelligent, those two ladies, man. Very intelligent.
It's just, you know what I mean, Anthony. When you just see some people in the chat, you sit there and like, wow, we're interesting enough for these people to want to check it out.
Come hang out. Yeah, I love that, man.
It's just something you can't. Now, guys, today's a little different. I decided to do more of a conversation piece today. And I want to have a conversation with Anthony about the three main unknown communities. I'm talking about Bigfoot, UFOs, and paranormal. And I'm going to get Anthony's opinions on the three different communities. And I do want to give an update. Last night, the script was written for episode 5.
Yeah, baby.
And I sent the script to Anthony, to the people. And if everything goes right, everything goes correct, the goal I'm shooting for is this Sunday. If everything goes correct, if I get all the voices in, which I'm working on it tonight, tomorrow, people sending it to me. And I'm going to tell you guys something. You don't want to miss this one when it comes out, because this is longer than the other ones, and it's so different than the other ones in a different way. Desert, this, and I don't want to spoil anything. I mean, I kind of spoiled it last week and you saw Davy Jones, so you kind of know where we're going with it, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And it's always a good time. Now, Anthony, it might be safe to say probably the three top communities of the unknown, journey into the unknown, is probably Bigfoot, UFOs, and paranormal.
Absolutely.
Anybody can slip in some other ones, Mandela effects or whatever kind of things, time warp, I don't know, time travel, interstellar kind of stuff. But I think the three major ones are UFOs, paranormal, and Bigfoot. Bigfoot / cryptids, whatever you want to call it.
Agreed.
Now, in order of the three, it's probably different for every single person out there. I like all three. We all like all three, but we all have our personal favorite. And I thought we'll do like everybody in the chat. We know you're all open-minded. We're all open-minded here. But people in the chat, I want you guys to start this out with us. If you had a list of three, which write in 3, 2, 1, like what is important, less important, or what is the most important? And there's no right or wrong in the answer. You like all three, but UFO is my number one. Bigfoot's number 3, or this is number 2. I want to see with the people in the chat, what is your 3 of the unknown, in what order that is important to you? Bigfoot, UFO, paranormal. So if you guys could start that in the chat, right in there. These are my top 3, and I'm gonna tell you guys my 3, and I want to hear Anthony's 3, and we'll run off on the conversation.
Top 3,
in order, like Bigfoot number 3, UFOs number 2, and paranormal is my number 1.
What category is my favorite? Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be different for everybody. There's going to be different reasons why you have your own number 1. I thought this would be kind of fun, so everybody kind of get their brains thinking, like, what is my favorite topic of all topics? Even though I like all 3, like here, Suzanne wrote paranormal, UFO, Bigfoot. Now, is paranormal number 1, UFO number 2? Is that how you did it? Number 1, 2, or 3? For me, Number 3, Anthony, I'm going to say is Bigfoot. And the reason I come to that conclusion is of the 3, I make that last. And I love Bigfoot. You love Bigfoot. I have an experience with the Bigfoot. And you said on a channel that you were really intrigued with the Bigfoot. And the reason I picked Bigfoot number 3 is when I look overall of all the categories, Bigfoot to me, is 50-50. Real or not real. And we know it's real, but I'm talking about real to the world where we know it does exist and, there is one hanging out.
Right.
And, that's what I'm talking about. And then it's intriguing to learn the DNA of the Bigfoot. Where the traits come from, how old is the Bigfoot. You learn a lot by DNA. So that's number 3 for me. Now,
hey, real
2,
real quick, sorry to cut you off. UFO Man just messaged me. He's a fan of your show. He wanted to know if he can hop on and say hello.
He could jump on. I want to hear his top 3. I'm sure number 1 be UFO.
I'll send him a link. I'll send him a link.
Number 2 is not necessarily UFO. I'm talking about aliens. Not. We all know there's unidentified flying objects. It's aliens. Aliens number 2 for me. Now I'll tell you why I picked UFO aliens number 2. It's like 50-50, like the Bigfoot. It's either real or it's not. But say you did discover alien is real. What's more intriguing about an alien versus a Bigfoot, Bigfoot's on this planet Earth, right? But a fucking alien? Another planet? Another galaxy? And how, and the technology, how did it get here? The technology it has. And the reason that will keep me up more at night versus the Bigfoot is, listen, total Bigfoot, we do have an army. I'm not saying we're going to war with Bigfoot, but we got tanks, we got an army. Dude, if we go to, if this ain't Independence Day, if we go to war with aliens, we're dead. If they got the technology to come here, they're going to wipe us out with like nothing. So there's more to worry about with aliens versus Bigfoot.
Oh, yeah.
This is just my opinion. If they could come here, they could destroy us. Why I think they're here is all I know. Maybe they're scoping out this planet to see if it's feasible for them. Do they want this planet? All we know, everything on here they don't want. They take cows, they take humans. Like, we can't live here. I'm just saying. Now, for me, paranormal is for me number 1, and I'll tell you why paranormal is number 1. The ultimate question in life, right? There's like, for me, the ultimate question in life is there life after death? Do we just die, blank out like a computer? It's broken, we're gone, there's nothing, or is there life after death? If we could prove that a ghost really exists, that would tell you one thing: your energy goes somewhere.
Agreed.
And for me to know that, even before I kick the bucket, hopefully it's not anytime soon, that my energy goes somewhere. I mean, I don't know, that's powerful. That is so powerful. And think about the possibilities of figuring out how to talk to a ghost, right? Talking to a loved one from a family member, a best friend you lost or something, to be able to conversate with that. I mean, there's just something that's for me. If you can answer that question, if there is life after death.
Well, Eric, when I had my motorcycle accident, I had to be defibrillated twice on the way to the hospital. I was out for over 2 minutes. They were trying to start my heart back up. And I definitely went elsewhere, not to heaven, but definitely to, like, I would call it like an in-between place. Like, I don't want to call it purgatory because it was beautiful, but I definitely was like in an in-between waiting, holding area. I don't know what you want to call it. And then I definitely met what I call my guardian angel, who was my godfather that died when I was a kid. And he put his hand through my chest and I woke up in the ambulance. I mean, that's
magic. It's powerful.
Enough for me.
And like UFO Man wrote, or that some spirits stay behind. Yes. Why do you stay behind?
Unfinished
do we
business
all
project.
stay behind? That we can only see some or not? Or is there a place that we go? I mean, the unknown of death after life is so freaking intriguing. It's just
Very intriguing. Yeah,
it's just for me. That's why I'm always intrigued by it, because the unknown of it all. I mean, aliens are
absolutely.
Bigfoot. They're either real or they're not. And if they're real, there's a lot to learn from it. But but aliens or you Bigfoot will not tell me the secret to life is their life after that. It won't tell me that.
Right.
That's
Right.
for me. Now, like I said, there's different reasons for other people. So Anthony, if you had to put 3 in order, and there's no right or wrong, what 3 would you put in order?
Well, I have to be honest and say that UFOs and paranormal are tied for first for me. But being that it's 1, 2, 3, I have to put UFOs, paranormal, Bigfoot, because I had my UFO encounter at 13 before I had my motorcycle accident. So that really opened up Pandora's box for me, witnessing those 2 triangular craft. That was a mind-blowing experience, and having all that missing time and everything, that'll really screw your mind up, especially at a young age, right? And then on top of that, like I was just saying, I had my motorcycle accident when I was 19, and I know for a fact that I crossed over and went somewhere when my heart stopped. That's fact. That's documented on paper that my heart stopped, and I know from having the experience that I went elsewhere. And then after doing all the investigating with my parents over who I witnessed, and then I come to find that photo of my godfather that died when I was like 9 months old. Like, what are the odds on that? I didn't know who that man was. Nobody ever told me who he was. I never met him. I can't remember somebody from 9 months old. So for me, UFOs, paranormal, and cryptids, 100%.
I mean, God, to go through an experience like that, it's how can it ever go away for you? I mean, it's just
I tell you, crossing over like that, it was the most beautiful experience one could ever have. It really is. I do not fear death. When you're growing up, everybody's afraid, to die, but don't fear it, man. As long as you're a good person, you got nothing to worry about. Honestly, man, you do go to the other side. It is a beautiful place. You really have nothing to worry about.
yeah.
I'm not afraid.
And
Die.
and I understand this kind of a comment from a casual conversation saying, I like to believe there is life after death. At the end of the day, for some of us who hasn't experienced what Anthony experienced, it is a belief system.
Of course.
And I'm not here to tell you guys the Bible's real or not. That's up to you. There's a belief system that some people believe we go to heaven. Some people, go there. There's no right and wrong. UFO Man says, to see a ghost that the spirit didn't cross over. Plus, death is a human construct. When we leave the body, we transition into energy source over
Exactly.
true selves. The spirit doesn't die, and that's the thing. That's the
Well
thing.
said.
That's well said, and I think we just wanted I know it sounds weird, like a stamp of approval, like this is it. This is 100% true. We know it's true, and I don't want to have to experience it like the way you experienced it, Anthony. Like we almost lost you, and we don't want that. But there's no way,
Eric,
to get
I've
that,
spoken to other people that had similar instances. I've spoken to a kid that drowned in a pool, and he had a similar experience where he went elsewhere. He had crossed over. My mom is epileptic. She had a seizure walking down the stairs one time, and she fell off the steps, and it knocked her out, and it stopped her breathing. Like, she had a really bad seizure and fell off the stairs, and it stopped her breathing. And she told me a whole different series that she went through a tunnel of light, and she heard people calling her name, like, Maria, follow us, it's going to be okay. And then she, the paramedics, whatever they did, I think they gave her a shot of adrenaline and did whatever they did, and it snapped her out of it. But that was her experience. So a lot of people I've spoken to said they've crossed over when that happened to them.
Little Knox wrote, and I love it when you guys tribute to the show, writing your stuff, and long as we do it in a safe manner. Eric, you need to humble yourself for Creatures Wars. I don't mean this in a bad way, but you're like an excited little boy. I am excited. I'm excited about life. I want to learn more and more. I'm never going to apologize for being excited. There are people that are having experiences near death. I have ETs. I've seen them. Bigfoot I met while meditating. I encourage everybody to be excited to learn all these things.
Sure, of course.
I don't take things for lightly. I remember being on the show, the Paranormal TV. I forgot. God, I'm almost forgetting their name. And I remember talking to them. We were talking about near-death experiences. And I remember they mentioned that, but sometimes you got to watch out what you're asking for, because sometimes the answer, what you're seeking on the other side, might not be the answer you want. And I get that. I get that. But the inner side of you just wants to research, just wants to, grab on and learn everything you can. Here's Oracles Beyond. Cassie, we came from the other side. It's okay to go back. That is true. I mean, think about that. I'm sure, yeah, you are so right, Cassie, because when we get born, a soul is created for us.
That's
and
right.
Then you start thinking about it. I'm not trying to get religious on this or anything like that, but think about that. How did the soul get created for us? Where does that soul come from? Is it a reincarnation of a soul? Is it a brand new? There's so many things we don't know. But think about a magical life we're born, and it's just like, I feel like it's a waste if we die and that soul just goes away.
In Catholic school, they taught us that it comes from the whole of souls, that there's a whole way in heaven filled with souls that need bodies. And as people die, you can either be a recycled soul and come back, or you can stay up in heaven, but it's called the whole of souls. That's a beautiful way to look at it too.
And if one of you in the chat, I don't usually do this very often. I only do this like once in a while. But if one of you want to jump on and tell us your number one, please do. I don't do this very often, but sometimes, these subjects, it can be a heavier subject. Now, going this, actually, wow, Suzanne A., you've been a member for 5 months. That is amazing. I'm looking over here, and Unidentified S4 has been a member for 4 months. I got to say thank you. I appreciate that.
Love you,
Brown Dwarf, what does he say? DMT journeys are similar or compared to NDEs, and I can say it's true. What's weird about near death, and like I said, I know you hear stories that people are in the hospital, they're on medications, they see things they don't see. The weekend before my father passed away, we didn't know he was he was going to pass away, but we had to go to the hospital. He had to get a leg removed and all that stuff. But we saw him on the day of my daughter's birthday. We visit, and we walk in. He goes, "Oh my God!" I just talked to my mom and dad. My father, it was right there. It was on a Saturday. He said he talked to his mom and dad. The next day, he passed away.
Wow.
Now, is it people can say, well, the medication can't, but it just seems so close to the end game, but you start thinking, wow, what out of everything he told us, he said he talked to his mom and dad.
That's beautiful.
You know what I mean? And it really sits there. You sit there and you start thinking to yourself, is that something? Is that just, you know what I mean? I don't know how you say it in 2 words, but
I'm telling you, man, it's legit. It's real deal. You go home when you die. It's no joke. You go home.
When you hear that, like you saw your parents waiting for you, it makes you feel like, wow, there's people waiting for you.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's why paranormal has always been so intriguing. It's like there's so much to learn, not just the afterlife. Like UFO Man said earlier, why, if you see a soul here, why is it still here? Does it need help to get to the other side? And this was talked about yesterday on Tech's Front Porch channel. I was on their show last night. And, this was kind of talked about last night that, God, we just don't know. There's so much out there. We just don't know. And the day you want to stop researching, the day you want to stop looking into things, you're almost better off dying, blanking out for good, because you should always want to
further educate yourself.
Educate yourself and want more. Janice says nothing had something like that happen to me. Here we go. Through the Veil Paranormal, unfinished business, loss, don't want to move on. True. Or Nicole, do you think that they want to move on but they can't? Maybe I would think that eventually they do want to move on, and if they don't want to move on, what's that reason? Is it because they got unfinished business here, or they don't like what they see on the other side? I mean, there's just so much to think about.
Are you talking about souls that stick around and do hauntings and stuff? Is that what you mean by like them sticking around, like those types?
Yeah, like why? She wrote some, yes, yeah, because why are they here, right? Yeah. If you hear stories, like you said, your family, push you back to life. My father saw their parents, so they're going.
Right.
But the ones that are here, do they not have that? Is there something that they can't get over to get there? And that because Donnie Cho jumped on the show last night too, and Johnny Cho was awesome on the show last night because he was coming into where he's learning these communities for the first time. He was asking questions because he's learning all these communities for the first time, and it was great to hear him, ask these kind of questions, and it's just amazing. I'm going to share. Where is it? Some of these websites, I swear to God, I hate it sometimes because they always got these advertisement that pops over to the whole screen. We're going to have some fun here. 13 reasons. What's it called? What is it called? 13 reasons we should believe in aliens. I thought it'd be
interesting.
I thought it'd be good to just to go with this topic with the three, because I even got top 10 for Bigfoot, 10 for paranormal. So I thought we'll just have some fun. Like I said, this is open conversation for anybody, and anybody wants to come on and tell us their three and why one is more important. And like I said, there's no reason why. If and like Anthony said, he had an experience with UFOs when he was first as a kid. That scars you. I can't imagine anything else being more important as that event, even though he has other events.
Your whole life, man.
But that's the event that scars you from the beginning, and that's the thing that remembers you the most. So I'm going to share. I'm going to share this. Here we go. All right. So number one, we should believe the aliens, and I don't agree with this one at all. They put the government literally just admitted it's taking UFOs seriously. First of all, taking UFOs seriously is just means you're taking seriously there's something flying in the sky they can't identify. That could be anything.
Yeah.
Aliens, drones. Actually, during the Seahawks game yesterday, they actually had to stop the game and move all the players off the field because a drone flew over the stadium, and they didn't know what the drone was, if it's going to be harmful or not. They actually stopped the game until the drone is nowhere near that stadium no more. So, I mean, that's not that. But what I mean is, of course, the government's going to take that seriously. That doesn't say anything that they're admitting that, oh yeah, aliens are real because we just did a conference on UFOs. No, you did a conference about things are flying up there without a license, without a permit to be up there.
I sent you the new logo from the National Intelligence Office. Did you see it yesterday with the TR-3B and the UFO on it?
Yeah, you did a whole show on that.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, and let me show people the logo.
That's nuts, man.
Office of Director of National Intelligence.
They got a friggin' sports model UFO on the bottom left, and leading the pack is a TR-3B. I still can't wrap my head around that. What their motive was behind doing this.
Yeah, what is that motive?
Oh, they're gonna roll out and say, "All right, we have unmanned aerial vehicle reproduction vehicles, and we do have the TR-3B. It's the Aurora project. We've had it for years, but we're gonna roll it out and start using these objects now." I mean, or are they just in it for the UFO bucks? I mean, I can't wait to hear the story behind this.
It's like just another funding that they're going to get money for, and who knows what they're really using the money for.
God
They
only
probably
knows.
think, hey, we'll add a little UFO ship. We'll get American people on board with us. They're not gonna mind that we're gonna take all this money and then we're gonna just pocket it for ourselves.
Yes, Akashi Chris. Yes, it is interesting to change. But what pisses me off more than anything is for years the government said that we were all crackpots in the UFO community. We were all nuts. There's no such things as aliens, and they all made us look like idiots, right? But here it is in black and white again. They're showing a UFO and a TR-3B on the
It's because the
National
popularity's up on it.
Intelligence Office's friggin' main page on their logo. That's crazy.
Because the popularity's up. More people are talking about it more than ever. They're gonna
All about
jump
the
on the
buck, right?
bandwagon. They're gonna use it for themselves. You think
Crazy.
these fucking Congress and senators give a shit truly about UFOs? All they care is about their pockets and their money and the corporation
right.
and the funds they get. So if this here can get them more people to vote for them because they think they're all on board with the UFOs type of deal, you're mistaken.
Yeah, I think it's all one big bullshit scam they got running here, to be honest with you. I don't know what their agenda is behind this, but I'm not buying it.
I said it before. They should fund us. We'll get them more honest truth than they can.
I would love that. We definitely get better footage than them. That's the truth.
That is the truth. We'll look at them way better research and not hire Tom DeLong or these.
Yeah, Lou Eliganzo and Tom DeShlong. Yeah.
Let's see what number 2 is. Harry Reid says we're not taking them seriously enough.
I got to take everything Harry Reid says with a grain of salt because he brought Elizondo into the picture and he made everybody think that Elizondo was the friggin' director of ATIP or SAP, whatever you want to call it, and he was none of that. It was all dog and pony show there too.
But what's weird is the title is Reasons to Believe How Seriously Should You Take Those Recent Reports of UFOs. Ask the Pentagon to read the primary. Yeah, and let's see here. Let's go down here. So
I believe that picture you passed up there with all the aliens in the blue suits. I believe that story more than anything else. I believe this story more than anything Elizondo told us, to be honest with you, or Harry Reid.
Isn't that a cool? That's a cool picture. That is a cool picture. That is a cool picture. Let's see. Scientists are suddenly much more bullish about the possibilities of life out there. Really? Who are they? I mean, first of all, if you guys think we're the only planet that can support any kind of life out of the whole galaxy that we can never even reach, well, you're out of your mind.
Says that 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 might be a planet similar to Earth. If you take those statistics into play, there's got to be beings out in the universe all over the place then. There must be life everywhere. The universe is teeming with life. It has to be.
Well, number 4, they're especially bullish about these planets. Okay. Well, that's what they're supposed to get paid for, right? To study planets, to study the possibilities and stuff. So that's not really a stretch.
I
You
know
know,
that NASA
it's just
is
like
very excited.
what was that long time ago? There was an article. NASA is finally going to start researching UFOs, and then I'm sitting there like, aren't they monitoring the skies as it is now?
Yeah, I know, right? What do you mean they're gonna stop doing it now? How come it hasn't been going on since day one? Right?
I mean, what's NASA been doing with all these satellites in the first place? Just
Seriously.
staring at a certain planet? Aren't they looking up there as
Crazy.
it is? But now, Anthony, they're taking it more seriously.
Well,
Okay.
NASA is really excited to bringing back the rocks from Mars that they just found with the rover because they believe that these samples that are coming back contain life, particles of life, the stuff that makes up life in the rocks that are coming back now. They should be here in about 6 months. So I was just watching that story the other night. They're very excited about this batch that's coming back to Earth. So we
But
shall see. Life
you
in
think
water.
if they find something, I'm just wondering. I mean, I don't know the answer that they would actually tell us.
Well, I mean, they would have to tell us at some point. Last time they thought that there was life in the meteorite. Remember? That meteor came in from like out of our solar system and they cut it open and it looked like it had like all those worms crawling through and everything. And a bunch of those scientists were convinced that they were fossilized things inside the meteorite and they got all excited about it. And then they found out that it wasn't. They told us right away when that happened. So,
I mean, if there's no weapon or threat, it's just a particle. Yeah, I
I mean,
can't
wouldn't
see
you
what
want
the
to
harm
tell
is.
everybody that there's life elsewhere? I mean, it would just create, more money for funding,
It would. It
you know?
would.
So,
The last report is that there are over 5,000 exoplanets that are known to have the ability to support life. Exactly. It only takes one planet out of that 5,000 to to prove that life does exist.
yeah.
That only takes one. You know. So let's see here, and there is documentation. Oh yeah, there's documentation that we can see, and there is documentation that we aren't allowed to see. Look at that little picture, so a drawing of a
Yeah.
alien, and
Looks like a diabetic getting his toenails cut, right?
I know, right? And that's what it says there. Tall doctor, white
White
skin,
skin,
white
white
robe,
robe.
and then moon to the sky, Saturn in background, out of body. Okay, okay, okay. What is this? Somebody's
My
dead?
body was rumbling and waving to the vibrations of the low hum. No fear, no thoughts, only now wonderful. I guess that's a depiction. Man, that's a freaky looking being right there.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to imagine. So if Anthony shaved, if I painted Anthony orange,
If Eric peed on me and I smoked weed and got red eyes, I can look just like this guy.
if I if I pee on him,
If Eric pees on me and I smoke enough weed, I can look just like this guy.
the asteroid looks an awful like a rocket ship. Well, that's the famous.
Oh, that's a Oumuamua. Oumuamua. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, we may have just seen an actual flying saucer. Okay.
Avi Loeb is got his heart set on that being like an ancient UFO drone or whatever the hell he was calling it. I don't know about that one. What do you think, Eric?
I just can't see a high intelligent beings making a ship shaped as a rock.
Shaped like a dildo. I mean, why would
Yeah,
you want to fly here in
just,
a giant dildo? But not only that, the only thing I didn't really understand about that was when it got closer to Earth, it picked up speed. It changed its speed when it took off. So that was strange. Yes, meteorites, as they do get closer to the sun, they burn up and gases escape and things like that. I mean, wouldn't that give it more speed too as gas escapes
true.
from it? I mean, is that possible or is that no?
I
I
guess
mean, I really
anything's
don't know.
I guess anything's possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just can't see a spaceship being created to look like that. I don't know. I mean, that intelligent, that kind of what is all the buttons made out of rock?
I don't know.
I mean,
Not only that, if they were flying in a giant dildo, does that mean their uniforms look like the guys from Spaceballs? I mean, I'm just curious. Just asking.
I don't know. And there could be alien mixture much farther out. Aliens could be dancing to Earth music right now. Listen, if aliens could reach here, if they could reach here, they got our signal. They they could watch TV if they want. They could listen to music.
They fly
I
here
guess.
every Saturday night just to hear Lee G sing "Unidentified S4." That's I'm telling you, they come every Saturday night to hear that song. Guarantee it.
And we're getting radio signals from something. Of course I've heard multiple stories that we do get a signal. Some say it's fake, it's real, or it's not. I mean, what do we really know? And I guess if we are getting signal, is it? I think there is signal being sent here, and we're not being told.
Eric, do you think we already have a base on the moon already established?
100%.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think so too.
100%. It's just, what do you think? Ronald Reagan's Star Wars plan was really to put missiles on the moon?
Nah.
No. He, there's listen. There's reasons for everything, and there's some things we're never going to be privileged to know, and even 90% of people in the government are not privileged to everything, because we said this before. Government people come and go. You can't tell every person who gets elected every single little thing, because when they get out, they're going to tell the world. You think Donald Trump could keep a secret?
No.
or maybe Biden could keep a secret. That guy is a crooked person himself. They're all crooks. Now, here we go. These masters of the universe are obsessed. They are also all men. Okay. I guess. Robert
Bigelow.
The government tests atomic bombs from his bedroom. Well, oh, look, Elon Musk.
There he is, the legend.
Elon Musk. Listen, guys, Elon Musk is all about the popularity. He loves the spotlight, and he's able to get the spotlight because he's a multi-billionaire.
He does a lot of good, though. Not for nothing.
Oh, I'm not saying he does nothing good. I mean, but he does love the spotlight.
If I had all that money, if I had all his money, all his fame, I mean, how many UFO channels are there out there? Yeah, not many. Even if there was 1,000 of them, which there's not, he can fund every one of those channels that are boots on the ground, that are out in the field investigating. He could fully fund them, and it wouldn't even make a dent in what he has. He wouldn't even realize that money was gone. Think how much good he could be doing, helping out the UFO communities, trying to find out what's going on. I mean, the people that are actually out in the field studying and filming and doing all this stuff.
Yep. Now, Paul Allen. Of course, you guys didn't know Paul Allen. Of course, he is passed away. Paul Allen is one of the he's the co-founder of Microsoft. He's actually the person who brought in the money. Yeah. When Congress cut off funding for NASA for aliens in look at it, and it says in 1983 cut off the funding for aliens, which I thought a report came out and said they're finally going to take this stuff seriously. But here it says when Congress cut the money off in 1993, Allen gave millions to the City Institute in 2009. The Allen Telescope Array started searching. The thing is, guys, about Paul Allen, he really is truly into stuff. And Paul is different than Elon Musk. Paul Allen donates money when he was alive. But he just never cared for the spotlight. He does everything behind the scenes and all that. And of course, I mean, I don't know him personally. He is a Seattle person. He is a Washingtonian. But it's just kind of funny here in this report. Congress cut NASA off to hunt for aliens. But then recently we got a report that NASA is finally going to take this stuff seriously. Well, you're telling me that they were taking it seriously, but they stopped taking it seriously because Congress decided to cut the funds off for the alien project? Sometimes I get confused. Oh, Yuri Milley, Jeff Bezos, Franco, and who cares about these people? Are some prominent military and government folks? I don't know. You know, I mean, it's we could look at these charts all day. I think I'm safe to say that Anthony and I believe there is life out there, and we have been visited, and they're probably still here. They're, they're smarter than us. They know that they can't come out in the open and say, "Hey, look, we exist."
They probably have.
That this world can handle it.
They probably have already. Our government probably has shit set up with them and leaves us totally in the dark. I believe that. I believe they met extraterrestrials before our government. I believe that they were gifted craft. I believe that also happened. I believe that they come to this earth in and out all the time with no problems. I think that's why we don't engage them when they come in and out of our planet. We probably have a deal set with them. I'm telling you, man. There's more to this. There's way more to this.
Oh, there's something there that it's waiting.
There's just too much information, man. There's just too much information for there not to be.
And it's all ready to come out. And it's going to come out sooner or later. It is going to come out sooner or later. Somehow it's going to come out. Don't know how, don't know when, but it is going to come out.
Think. Tom DeLonge was a mutt. That was all bullshit, and he stole all that money from his investors. None of them got any of that back. He screwed a lot of people. That was a lot of bullshit. They used Tom DeLonge like a patsy, and he let them. Yeah. He's another idiot.
He just used it for popularity for his band and music. It was just
Screwed himself. He got in with the wrong UFO crowd, man. And they took him and his popularity that he had then for a ride.
Now, guys, top 10 reasons you should believe in ghosts. Number 10, medium contact. Let's see here. Medium contact. Of course, because of history of fraud, so prevalent with the psychic community. So basically, medium contacts. Now, of course, I'm never going to tell you guys mediums are 100% real or not. That's up to you, because there's people who claim they're mediums. There's people that I've talked to that I feel they are the true deal, because there's just things they know that we just don't know. But I would never force to say all mediums are real, because not all mediums are real. On one of the show that Anthony's did of that fireman.
That's the guy. He's real deal, man.
I mean, it's just amazing how they know some of the stuff. So
he read Elena Ayanu, and he knew nothing about anything about her. He knew that she had a twin brother that died in the womb. Like, nobody knew that. People in her family, like most of her family members, didn't even know that. I mean, and this guy knew that. He knew all kinds of stuff, man. Really blew her mind, she said.
And everybody in the chat, don't forget, if you haven't done it already, click that thumbs up for me. My thumbs up's been really low lately. So if you guys can hit that thumbs up, I appreciate it. It just lets me know that you guys enjoy the show. Number 9, orbs. Does orbs prove that ghosts are real? Could. I mean, orbs are tricky in a lot of ways, because orbs, 90% of the things we see floating around is technically not an orb, but the ones that are, the 10% that are true orbs, some people say that the orbs is an alien traveling. I'm just saying, so orbs not just related to paranormal. There's people say that orbs are traveling aliens visiting. There's just so many different things as orbs, but orbs are interesting. When some of them that has different colors, somehow they move. But you got to be careful when you look at orbs, because 90% of the orbs you see are bogus. But it's that 10% that does not act like a regular dust particle that
Right.
floats, you know.
I seen one compelling video with an orb on Ghost Adventures. You know Ghost Adventures with
Yep.
Zach Bagans, right?
Yep.
They were in a basement somewhere, and there was a whole bunch of brooms and long shovels on the wall standing, and this orb flew through the room, and it was like flickering light, and it flew past the shovel, and it knocked the shovel down as it flew past. I thought that was really cool, especially the way this orb looked, that it was getting brighter and then dimming and brighter and dimming, and then the shovel fell when it flew past it. I thought that was really wild to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And here, Paranormal Pixie wrote, unfortunately, any particular field you have, fakes taking advantage of people makes it hard for the rest of us.
Very
That
true.
is so true.
Very
You
true.
know, but I'm only fascinated. The one of the type of orb videos that I like, that I'm fascinated by, is when you see like an orb go by a person and it looks like it goes through them, and then their attitude changes. Something happens to them without knowing something hits them. I mean, it happens like at the same time.
Yep.
Then you're listening there like, hey, there might be something there, because if that was just a flying particle, it sure hit him at the right proper time where he starts
right place,
to go
right time.
slick,
Yeah.
easy.
Yep.
Those are the ones that always intrigues me the most, because yeah, once in a while could be luck, but no, when attitude, body changes, temperature changes, when an orb disappears through a body.
Yep.
So those are kind of orbs I like to look at. Let's see here. Number 8, historical presence. Historical. That's basically, you see, the ghosts were fairly recent phenomena like Bigfoot or UFOs. It might be easy to dismiss them as a byproduct of the culture's overacting imagination. But okay, basically what I'm saying is in history, ghosts has been written in histories all throughout life. Now, of course, with TV and television, yeah, things get a little over at imagination. You know, I've said this a million times. I watch Ghost Adventures with my daughter. We used to watch it for the fun of it. Okay. But we know they're actors. I'm not saying they're not real investigators, because they are investigating. It's just when something happens, they gotta like overreact. Like, oh my God, they gotta run. Listen, when you do a certain kind of job year after year after year, you do develop. Like, listen, when I'm in the cable business, when I throw a 32-foot ladder up on a pole, I gotta climb up these tall poles with spikes. When you first do it, your heart pumps. It pumps. But then after a while, you go up there like nothing.
Yep.
So to still see them run like up little things, I'm not talking about big things like grabbing you, like, oh shit, like little taps, like they're running. That's over exaggerating, but they get told to do that. But it doesn't mean they're not real real investigators. It's just that they got to make it look good for TV.
True.
You know, it's just.
Feed the Fink. I heard the exact opposite about Ghost Adventures. I heard that they used to ask those guys to do all kinds of extra things to make the show more jazzy, and they would refuse all the time. I saw a whole documentary on that.
But see, they say that, but you know, I know you're right. If you have Discovery Plus, I have Discovery Plus. If you watch like the first 5 seasons, where it's the 3 original,
yeah, those are my favorite.
You know, the 3 original, which I love. There's less. If you watch it now, they add in like more horror music and more like.
I haven't watched it since the 3 broke up.
Well, they add in images, like crisscross. Before they never did that.
Yeah.
So they have made adjustments to try to build that fear with the music and images, the sound effects, and all that.
I'm sure that's all the network, though. You know what I'm saying?
It could be, but Zach is an executive producer, so he does have major sayings on what could be done here too. So, but like you said, if you want to continue with the show for money, sometimes you do gotta.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But I'm talking about when they got started, like when they caught that first apparition, that full body apparition they caught on film.
Yeah,
I mean that made them back then. Those guys, their footage was incredible, man.
Yes.
Over time, I guess everybody gets caught up in the limelight. But back then, they were fucking incredible, man.
The immutability of energy. Well, we know energy. After, let's see here, one of the most basic tenets of psychics is that energy can neither create nor destroy, but can only be changed from one form to another. Well, this just goes back to the talk about energy. Ghosts are energy. Where does this energy go? And if they are energy, why do lights flicker? Why do sometimes power goes out? Well, if they're energy, their energy is going to interfere with other energy. So when things do flicker, I'm not saying your light bulb's burning out, but you gotta look at something might be strange going on, because remember, there's a ghost. They're based off of energy, and if you see them clearer, that means they have even more powerful energy, because it takes a lot of energy for a ghost to appear close to human-like.
Have you ever tried the flashlight experiment, Eric?
What's the flashlight experiment?
You put a flashlight on a desk and you try to communicate with a ghost, and you have him turn the flashlight on and off.
Oh, like ask him to turn it off and on?
Yeah.
I should try that, but not
That'd
very often. I know we've done as a kid, like make something move, make a ball move or something.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing that kind of stuff, go live on TikTok and do experiments like that. I have been thinking about doing stuff like that.
Go to a haunted cemetery or something and try that stuff. That'd be pretty cool. Imagine you get it to come on like on top of a tombstone or something. Forget it.
Well, actually, this Sunday we're actually driving up to a place called Black Diamond. Anybody knows Washington? It's like way above Puyallup, Seattle. Is a area called Black Diamond, and they have a cemetery called Black Diamond Cemetery. And of course, all claims that one of the most haunted cemetery. I mean, almost every claim they always says this is like the most haunted. But for the state of Washington, it's supposed to be in the top 10, one of the most haunted places. So this upcoming Sunday, we are driving to Black Diamond, and I'm gonna bring my little voice recorder and
cool.
do a couple things. So that's gonna be cool.
Very cool.
And then in a couple 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I know I got the Bigfoot conference coming up. There's it's called the Mona Castle Hotel, a place called Port Townsend, supposed to be one of the most haunted hotels in Washington. Mm-hmm. We're actually planning to spend a night there to do an investigation at this hotel on the weekend. We were originally going to do it this weekend, but we forgot that it's my son's birthday. I can't do that. But that's why we're going to Black Diamond Cemetery. But then the week after, we're talking about going to this most haunted hotel in Washington.
Oh, God. Monday's my birthday. Christ. Dreading it.
Here we go. Eyewitness accounts. And, of course, there's thousands of eyewitness accounts. And I always say this. Out of thousands of eyewitness accounts, it only takes one to be true.
That's right.
To give evidence that does exist. Only takes one. You don't need 3 or 4 or 5. It takes one. But you still got to ask yourself, out of all those stories, you're going to tell me that every single story that comes out are all fake and bogus? Some might not be exactly what they think it is, but some of these people are having these experiences.
75 million people in this country alone, it says, have had experiences with ghosts. 75 million people. You only need one out of 75 million to be legit.
That's it. You only need one. And even if it's not ghosts, but what's causing their experience? And we've learned that black shadows might not be a ghost. Could be UFO alien related.
True.
So that's why these things are interconnected. Number 5, electronic disturbance. We talked about earlier in the other ones where electronic disturbance, because ghosts and stuff are energy, and Anything that's energy can't interfere with other energy. Right here it says, it's not surprising that they wouldn't get energy spikes. That's why they have those detectors to see, the spike goes off, because they're trying to feed off energy. That's why that's why most places they turn off all power to a building. If you're going to do a proper investigation, you need to turn all power off so the spikes don't get interfered. Because even though if you turn off a power switch, you put a power wand next to that outlet, there's still power leaking out.
Well, not only that, I just ordered one of those EMF detectors. I never messed around with them before. I want to see, even if all the power's off in the building, if you put it next to your camera or your recording device, does it give off EMF? That's what I want to see. It does?
You want to see that. I've long time ago, we talked about equipment, that sometimes your equipment are not wired up right. I told people in the cable world, you think you bought this great splitter, but it picks up too much interference. Equipment's the same way. But that's smart, Anthony. Get an EMF detector to see if that's causing a spike or not. So when you investigate it, you know your camera is not causing it.
Because these guys always have a camera in their hand and they're walking around with the EMF detector, right? And it's always spiking. Well, what if the EMF detector is too close to the camera and that's why it's getting a spike?
Yeah, if it's made bad or a wire loose,
$25 ones, it might you might get a spike from it.
Audio evidence. Oh yeah, there's a lot of great audio evidence out there, EVPs and all that. Again, you got to be careful with EVPs too. You got to make sure that it's not interference from towers. Listen, there's towers for cell phones everywhere you walk. If your cell phone works somewhere, that means there's signal in the air. So you do got to be very careful with EVPs. That's why I like the ones when investigators ask questions. And so when they hear an EVP, is the EVP where they heard answering the question they've asked? Those are the ones I'm more intrigued, because there are thousands of interference that's in the air. You can't believe everything you're capturing is ghost related. That's why it's always smart to ask questions.
Oh yeah, without that.
And hopefully you're getting an intelligent answer. Number 3. Hold on. Number 4 is audio evidence. Number 3 is audio evidence too. One says active, one says passive. Oh, passive and active. Blah, blah. That's the same thing. Come on. Oh, audio interactive. I guess that's what I was talking about. The ones I believe in more. When you're interactive, you're asking questions.
They just broke it down into 3 or 4 different categories.
Peter James, ghost tour above the Queen Mary. I don't want to talk about Queen Mary.
My father
investigated that fucking ship and I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm pissed. Here we go. Photographic evidence.
Dynamite.
That is dynamite. Now, of course, we live in a world that technology is so much better, so great, that it's hard to determine who's got the real deal or not. And people can even fake pictures to make the fake look so real. That's why I always say, when you start looking at investigators, looking at people, start learning about the person, because what kind of person you're watching. If I'm watching Anthony, if I know Anthony's outside with his camera and he catches something on his camera, see, I know Anthony. I know Anthony is an honest guy and he's going to give you the honest thing. You're going to have to do that for any kind of investigators that you're all into. Study them, trying to figure out their backgrounds, their patterns, and listen. Now, you can't listen to everybody, because you're always going to have people that's going to want to disgruntle, like, oh, Anthony's fake. He's doing this. You're going to have those.
You could be live, and you're still going to have those people.
You're going to have those people. But beyond that, you really got to study the person. And like I said, but the belief system. You got to believe in the person who's giving you that information.
Yes.
Especially nowadays where almost anything can be fake now. Technology is so advanced. They could fake something and you still wouldn't even know if it's a fake, unless you got somebody that has equipment to determine that's fake.
Look at that friggin' girl from England that She hoaxed the those green UFO orbs that were going all over the internet. She went viral, man. Every news media outlet was interviewing this girl Emily, and then she came out that she hoaxed every single one of those UFO sightings were a hoax. She told you how she did it and everything. It was crazy. And everybody bought those, they were buying into those videos left and right. It was on everybody's channel. But it was a hoax. They can do it today. They got the technology. What's up, Connor? They got the technology to do it, man.
Oh.
CGI is amazing today.
Oh, Connor, if you can hear me, Connor, you talked to me last night about the hurricanes. Our news channel in Seattle actually mentioned that the hurricanes are coming to Florida.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad.
Yeah, so stay safe out there in Florida.
He's already under a state of emergency. I was just watching it this morning from Florida. It's no joke. It's coming in as a Cat 4 by the time it hits land. I think it's going to be a 3 or a 2.
It
joke.
Finally hit here. And we'll run through this one real quick. Top 10 reasons believe in Bigfoot. Let me see here. They put number 10, scientifically uncertainty. Well, I mean, it is scientific uncertainty unless you have one in front of you, which there are stories that, you know, these things have been captured, have been tested on, and I'm not here.
I want to ask you one thing about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We got Connor in here. Do you think it's possible that one of these investigators out in the field were face to face with an actual Bigfoot at one point, but they just kept it quiet because they figured if they told the world, it would put the animal in danger? What do you think?
Repeat that one more time.
Do you think it's possible? Let's say Connor goes out in the field and he runs into a Bigfoot, and the Bigfoot's friendly, he makes friends with it, but he doesn't tell the world about it because, you know, for fear for the animal's safety. Do you think that's possible, that there is an investigator out there that did, you know, really see a 100%. Bigfoot, and they see them all the time, but they just don't say nothing for the
100%
safety of the animal?
100%.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
100%. Good people know that there's bad people out there. There's people that just want fame, want money. They think what they're going to get with it, 100%. And they know when they spot one and they're friendlies with one, if you tell people, you're probably gonna get him harmed.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And
because if I ever went out and I really came across one, man, I don't even think I would film the thing for you know, for fear that, you know, people will go, you know, hunt in that area and look for this thing and try to kill it or whatever. I think I wouldn't even say anything. I would tell my close friends what happened, but I don't think I would tell, like, the world.
And guys, we're going to make this the last question of today. This is actually a good question. What did you guys think about ghost hunters? Okay. So ghost hunters. Now, ghost hunters for TV wise, ghost hunters came out before Ghost Adventures. Yep. Ghost hunters is TAPS. Okay. Now I can't say honestly what I feel. What group is more honest than the other group? That's impossible. We're not there. But I always felt, for TV wise, Ghost Hunters was a little bit more real with the personality of the team versus Ghost Adventures. Because if you ever watch Ghost Hunters, it is really more boring than Ghost Adventures, because it seems like they go the same places, and Ghost Hunters find maybe some voices, maybe some this, but every time a Ghost Adventures goes somewhere, they're getting grabbed, they're getting this, they're getting scared. You know what I mean? It always seems like more things happen to Ghost Adventures versus right? Ghost Hunters.
TAPS was Ghost Hunters was very bland for me. You know, it was like, nothing else is on paranormal wise. Let's just watch it. Type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures, on the other hand, was more exciting. Like you knew it was going to be a cool episode. You know what I mean? The only thing I hated about Ghost Adventures was Zach wearing the respirator all the time, and you trying to understand his voice with that friggin' respirator on all the time.
Yeah.
That's all. I hated that.
And yeah, and TAP's been a investigating group for many years before, even before they got the show. So Tap's been a real true investigator. I know Zach, they made their own documentary, that famous footage, like you're saying, that got them over, because
The full
their
body
very
apparition.
first footage is not owned by Discovery Plus.
No,
they made
they
that
had it.
themselves.
Yep.
And
They
all
made
that.
them. They got themselves famous ghost adventures from that one piece of footage. They brought it to every radio station, every news outlet. I mean, it went viral the old-fashioned way. That's how they. What's up, Dutch Fly 61, my bro?
And then
That's how they got famous.
Paranormal Pixie wrote, the Atlantic Paranormal Society has taught so many people to investigate with integrity and common sense. And
Yeah.
that's the thing, Paranormal Pixie. There's so many great investigative groups that will never get the light of day. They'll never get the respect and knowledge for teaching so many groups. Unless you have a TV show and stuff, they're always going to say these groups are the top 10 best. But we know true groups like the Atlantic Paranormal Society and stuff like that, that these are the real groups, the real blue collar people who are on the ground studying. And a lot of these groups don't make money on their investigations. A lot of these groups do investigations because they really want to know what's going on.
Agreed.
I'm not saying it's not right to make money off of it, because you want to, if you want to keep doing it like almost full time, there's got to be some kind of income coming in. But a lot of these groups, they do it, they volunteer to do it.
My buddy,
they have day jobs and stuff.
Are you familiar with Devil's Hour Productions, Matt Benton?
I've heard of that production.
His program just went mainstream with a documentary. That's awesome. I'll drop the link in the documentary. I'll drop the link in the chat. You guys can check it out. He's got his new documentary coming out, and it's epic, man. It's real deal.
So guys, this is about the end of the show. I know it's a little different. I didn't do videos like that. I wanted to have just a discussion on all this topic, and I want to appreciate every single one of you who showed up today. It's fantastic. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I got a lot of appointments that I got to go to, but there is a kick-ass show coming this Wednesday, and let me pull it up for you guys. Here, give me a second. Let me here we go. Let me share the screen. There's a kick-ass show coming up this Wednesday. Here we go. Where is it? Right here. Right here. Unidentified S4 presents Let's Talk Bigfoot. Witness Wednesday.
Yeah, this is going to be great, man.
Look at
as a matter of fact, well, we got people in the chat here. Eric's going to host this with me. Brown Dwarf, Bigfoot Anon, you guys are welcome on the show. Open invitation. Danny Stanton, if you want to jump on, because I know you have some Bigfoot encounters as well. And I'm going to have Long Island Bigfoot join us also. So this is going to be a great, great conversation. And of course, if Tex and Bigfoot Michigan Rob ever want to jump on, they know they got open invite always. So this is going to be a really good Bigfoot show.
And there's the link right there for it. Get it on there. Hit the notify. I used to like Paranormal State. I actually like that show too. It's kind of
that kid from Paranormal State, man. He robbed a lot of people because he became a junkie, man. He fucked up what that kid did, man, to everybody.
He developed cancer too, and then
that was fake, man.
He really
went cancer. He stole all that money from people.
Yeah, he really
was sick with cancer. He was a junkie. Oh man, terrible.
You thought they were, when you take the show aside, behind the scenes, there's really a documentary on this guy. I mean,
man.
I
couldn't believe. Could you believe that when you heard that?
No, I couldn't because
I was shocked.
Like Feed the Fink. I enjoyed the show. Lorraine Warren used to guest appearance on some of the shows and stuff. It was fine, but when the show ended, this guy's true colors really came through, and it's almost like it's a kind of a shame because it makes it like, was the show even real? Because how this guy is. It's.
You remember his name?
Let me see here. Let me write it. Paranormal State actor. Ryan Bull.
Ryan. That's
Ryan
him.
Bull.
That's him, Ryan. He told people he had cancer. He was taking tens of
Oh, so the
thousands
cancer
of
turned out to be
dollars
fake. Oh,
in
wow.
donations. He was telling people he was going to come do psychic readings with famous people, and they were paying him like $5,000 to show up, and he would never show up. He would just take all the money. This kid did so much bad shit. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. He seemed like the last person that would ever pull something like that. Oh man,
Yeah,
terrible.
and he actually had
He got
assault
locked up, right?
charges on him.
Yeah, he got locked up.
So I mean, it's
It's a shame what drugs do to people, man. It's a shame.
Some people can't handle the fame. I
Drugs, bro. He
one thing
became a
I'll say
drug
about
addict, man.
Zach, I don't care how you guys feel about Zach. At least that man is smart with his money. He got a museum out in Vegas. He's got a whole enterprise going for him. So not all of them. Some of these people are smart, but then you got him, one of the originals paranormal shows. He just flushed it all fucking down the drain. It's just
Done. His credibility is done. That's it, man. Forget it. That guy, he can never claw his way back. That's it. He's done.
When the Taps guys left, when the show kind of ended, like one of those two left, but they still had good credibility. So they came back a season here and there. They come back because they didn't ruin their credibility. But that guy,
they were very honest people. Taps, little too
even when
honest.
you leave a show, if you leave on good terms, you live life. You might be able to come back. But that guy,
he fucked his whole life.
It will not surprise me if some channel gives him a shot because what he did.
I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't support that.
I want to watch it.
No way. There's plenty of good people out there that deserve a chance. You don't need to bring a piece of shit like that back into the community. Sorry.
And remember, people, you don't need. I got Discovery Plus because I enjoy some of the content, but you got plenty of investigators right here on YouTube.
Love you, Susan.
Go a lot of these channels through the Vel Paranormal channel. She does a lot of investigations live right on YouTube. A lot of people do. So there's a lot of great content right here on YouTube. Just word of mouth. Just listen to.
And the whole month of October, I'm doing 31 days of Halloween. So if there's any paranormal channels that want to hang out with me and Eric, just reach out to either one of us. I'm sure, Eric, you're going to be doing a lot of Halloween stuff for the month of October too, right?
Yeah. Dude, I fucking love Halloween.
My favorite month, October, man. Not just my birthday, but I love Halloween.
Maybe on Thursday or something, guys. I'll do a show. I'll show you my upstairs. I already got the pumpkins out. We got the skeletons that play the banjo.
Oh, no shit. I started doing my outside of my house too. It's kind of cool.
Well, I fucking love Halloween. It's my favorite holiday of the year. I always dress up, hand out the candy and outfits. And unfortunately, we live on a dead end street. So dark. We don't get a lot of trick-or-treaters. We might get 3 people.
That's all right. But you decorate the house crazy?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
My nephew, Danny.
Man. I already bought my haystack for my banjo skeletons to play their music. I mean, it's all
my nephew Danny, 6 years old. You ask him what his favorite store is. He says Spirit Halloween is his favorite store to go shopping. We hear that on Christmas. Every time we say you want to come to the store, he goes, "Can we go to Spirit Halloween?" It could be Christmas. He wants to go to Spirit Halloween.
It's so awesome. Make us a video so we can see the decorations. You know what? I will do that, Paranormal. I haven't got everything out yet because can we get closer to the first of the month? We start decorating the inside, and then usually October 1st is when we decorate the outside.
I started 2 weeks ago decorating outside. I'm a Halloween.
Oh yeah, we started 2 weeks inside the house.
I got shit flying around, ghosts outside flying around and shit. I love Halloween.
It's the best. It's just, oh my God. I love it.
I got 2
guys, I want
to
thank all of you for showing up today, and I want to see every single one of you tomorrow on the Unidentified SFAR channel. I already put the link in there. We're good to go. So guys, beyond that,
Wednesday,
have a great day.
Love you.